Hi, I'm Linda Howe, spiritual counselor, author, and teacher, specializing in helping you identify your soul's path and bring your soul's purposes to life. I love my work. And along the way, I realized that one of my biggest challenges was finding a way that I could effectively empower and enliven others, right? Really enrich other people on their way while taking care of myself in the process. So, because it seemed that when I worked with others, I would be depleted and drained, and then, of course, irritated and annoyed, and this was not good for anyone. No matter what method I used, and I used many wonderful methods, I would inevitably get to the day where I would find myself in this very tough spot. And the spot was, how do I empower and enrich the lives of others and do the same for myself at the same time? So let me tell you what happened. I came into the Akashic Records in 1994. By 1996, I was teaching. But in 2001, a wonderful thing happened. I was given the Pathway Prayer process to access the heart of the Akasha. It was fabulous. I began to work with it immediately. And what happened when I used this prayer was I found that I was able to really enlighten, enliven, problem solve, but I was really able to assist others and walk away from readings without being drained or worn out, or even that sense that I would have like an emotional hangover. I had none of that. This was so exciting to me because really my deep dream has been to meet my soul's purpose, right, of helping others, but without martyring myself. But I have to tell you, one day this woman came. She was extremely upset. She had a very sick child, so of course she was upset. I mean, that was all appropriate, right? And so what happened is she's extremely upset, and initially I was very anxious about doing a reading with her because, see, I didn't want to walk away carrying her emotions later. I just didn't want that. But what happened this time was I opened her records using the Pathway Prayer process. And I felt what she was feeling. We made that emotional connection. I had a sense of really how heartbreaking her situation was. But instead of going down the tubes with it, a beautiful thing happened. Working in her records, I was guided to identify her as the perfect person to help this child. That this very difficult situation was an ideal way to bring forth the very best in who she is. So by the end of the reading, I had an incredible sense of confidence in her and her abilities, as if I had seen her in a whole new light. And it was the light of her soul. So we closed the records, I followed the protocol, and I left that reading in peace. She left empowered, and I left with serenity. And over the next few days and weeks and months and even years, I have never once worried about her. I never worry about any of my clients. I don't have to be upset because I feel the burden of their burdens. I don't. I have peace and I have freedom. And I can't tell you how delighted I am. Delighted isn't a strong enough word, really. Thrilled, I think, is better. That I have been given a way to effectively empower others to transform their lives in ways that are good and meaningful, that nurtures and sustains me at the same time. Now, this may be a way that can be very helpful to you. So I ask you to consider it. Consider learning the Pathway Prayer process. I have books, How to Read the Akashic Records, Healing Through the Akashic Records, and my new book is Discover Your Soul's Path Through the Akashic Records. You can take a look at my books, or you can come and study with me. I do online courses, and you're always welcome. And you too can learn a way to work with others, to make the connection you seek with the skill, right? The skill you deserve, empowering you and everyone you encounter along the way. So until we meet, I wish you the very best. Thank you so much.